And it's raining again in California. What's that one song? I think it's by Erasure. Could be wrong. I'm most likely wrong, but here comes the rain again. Well, yeah, we should be out of drop by the end of this raining season. Let's hope. Hello, my 3 YouTube subscribers. Welcome to yet another episode of Ridiculousness. Yeah, I said it right. For this particular episode, I'm going to be comparing 2 totally different cameras, both of which I own. And so it's not that I'm trying to bash any particular camera, model, or brand, because I own both of them. And certainly for those of you with some technical know-how and knowledge, you will know right off the bat how ridiculous this comparison is, because it is very unfair to, well, depending on how you look at it, depending on which camera you wanna, So we have a GoPro Hero 5, which isn't cheap by any means, but relatively speaking, compared to a DSLR, a GoPro Hero 5, it's like the cost of a couple of memory cards, a few new extra batteries, trying to put things in perspective. And the camera that we're comparing it to is the Canon 5D Mark IV. Not only is it the Canon 5D Mark IV, I'm also shooting with the Canon 24mm prime, the 1.4 Mark II. One of the best lenses I've ever had, by the way. Fantastic lens. Absolutely fantastic. I used it quite a bit when I had the Canon 7D, which I still do have. I'm using that for work now. But I don't know what maximum aperture the GoPro shoots at. I'm gonna guess 2.2, 2.4 maybe. So there's easily 1.5 stops of advantage using my Canon 24 prime already. But for those of you who, again, are already in the know, we're talking quite a bit of monetary differences here, budget-wise. To be able to get the DSLR quality, in terms of video, being able to shoot in low light, versus a $400 GoPro. I'm kind of doing this video, and I know who the clear winner is going to be in terms of image quality. But it's more for my curiosity, as I had attempted to try to vlog with the GoPro since most of the time my commute is after sunset and I do not intend to turn on any interior lighting in my car, I found the GoPro to be horribly insufficient in terms of light gathering capability. And I didn't expect it to be amazing. You know, I was hoping that even if it would be grainy, at least you can see my head and some facial expression. But when I had the opportunity to upload and review those footages, they were terrible. That sort of put a torpedo in that project and sunk that pretty badly, pretty quickly. So there you have it. I've left both cameras pretty much on auto settings. So this would be a good comparison between a full-fledged DSLR setup for vlogging versus the GoPro Hero 5. Now the Hero 5, the GoPro has a tremendous advantage in terms of size. It's a heck of a lot smaller. It's when I get a chance, I'll compare it to, I'll throw in when I get a chance, I'll throw in a picture comparison here, comparing the size of the GoPro versus the size of the Canon 5D Mark IV. It's practically just the size of the battery of the 5D. So portability, ease of travel, clear-cut winner to the GoPro. No doubt about it. If you need something small, there you have it. You gotta travel light, there it is. It's just that, you know, you have to be realistic in terms of what kind of image quality you're expecting. I would say the GoPro will be similar in many ways, slightly better and slightly worse than many of the current cell phone cameras out there. I think the sensor is roughly about the same size. That's what you're shooting with. The other advantage of the GoPro, of course, is that it is quite weather resistant, weatherproof. You can actually go underwater to a certain degree with the GoPro. Whereas if you try going underwater with the Canon DSLR, I guarantee you'll have a giant doorstop. Now try taking the Canon DSLR setup that I have without an underwater housing, which itself will probably cost close to $1,500 just for the housing. Try taking that to the ocean and filming scuba diving. You might as well leave the camera in the ocean, because even if you bring it back home, it's not gonna fire up, it's not gonna work. Whereas with the GoPro, assuming all the seals are fine, no problem. So again, it all depends on what your needs are. Probably for those of you viewing my 3 subscribers on YouTube, I have a feeling you guys already know that the GoPro, a much less expensive camera, is unfortunately unable to match image quality wise to a more expensive DSLR setup. That's to be expected. They have yet to bend the laws of physics and videography, similar to photography, and in many ways, more importantly, is the art of capturing light. And when you don't have any light, you don't have an image. And neither of these cameras shoot infrared, so there you have it. For a nice light travel setup, GoPro is pretty good. Very, very convenient. But if you want something that's more capable of capturing low light, either video or stills, without having to use your own external light source, unfortunately for the time being, pretty much a DSLR and a very fast and wide aperture prime is still your best bet. Case in point. That's pretty much it. Hopefully, if you didn't know, you learned something. And if you already knew, sorry for wasting your time. Hopefully you skipped over this video and gone and watched something more interesting instead of looking at one of the world's craziest, dumbest gear comparison video. But you know, I have an hour to kill on my commute home, so why not, right? So if you found this video of some value actually for you, please press like. I appreciate it. But if not, I think the subscribe button is like on there. And stay tuned, and maybe I'll come up with sillier ideas to make videos of. We'll see. All right, take it easy.